Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and we've got another fun video today because I know many people enjoy my flea market finds videos, and I just hit up a flea market today and found a whole bunch of cool stuff. There was actually, I was walking through the flea market and I was pretty much ready to call it quits because there didn't really seem like there was much of anything too interesting there this week. And as I was walking to the back of this one section, I spotted somebody that had an entire tote full of dinosaurs from a bit of a distance. So of course I zoned in on that and made my way over to that tote and checked it out, and there was a lot of really cool stuff in there. Not a whole lot of Jurassic stuff or anything like that, although there's a little bit, but mostly older stuff that I really enjoy and some stuff that I've been looking to get into my collection, and also some stuff that, I already have, but the deal was just too good to pass up because it was $1 for the small figures and then $2 for anything that was larger. So again, I ended up spending $30 or so for these figures, something like that. So again, a really good deal, I think, because, when you look at it as $1 to $2 per figure, it's definitely a great deal. So let's start bringing them in. So the first one that I have is the Safari Ltd Saltosaurus. And yes, I do have quite a few of these figures already, but this one, being one of the smaller figures, was only $1. I mean, honestly, I couldn't say no to a Safari Ltd Saltosaurus for $1. And if anything, it could be something I repaint at some point, but still a figure that I love, and a species of sauropod we don't get very many figures of. So I definitely wanted to grab that one. And then another figure that I do already have, and I was actually considering reviewing at some point. The other one that I have is in better shape than this one, but we have the Jasmine Carnotaurus. And, nobody reviews this kind of stuff. These older dinosaur toys, everybody just kind of ignores these figures, and some of them are really fun, specifically, I think this Carnotaurus is. It's a very kind of old school style Carnotaurus, but still a really cool one. And again, I've been considering reviewing it. If you guys would like to see a review of the Carnotaurus, definitely let me know and I will do that. But it's still a pretty cool figure. This one here was $2, but again, $2 for this. And I actually am probably going to repaint this one because I'm just very curious to see what it would look like with a more realistic paint job on it. Obviously, the colors it has right now aren't too realistic, but I feel like it could look really neat if it actually had a more high quality paint job. Then I found myself a Lego Triceratops, and I don't have very many Lego figures. I don't normally collect them, but I know a lot of the time whenever I see people kind of trying to resell them online and stuff, they usually are a little bit pricier, sometimes anyway. So I thought, well, I can't really pass up the opportunity to grab one of these for $1 rather than thinking at some point in the future that I'd like to have it and then not, finding an affordable one. So pretty happy to find that guy. And then I found this one, and this one's very intriguing to me. First of all, I think I need to move back a little because he's kind of tall. I moved the camera up just a hair, but it's kind of like a fuzzy version of a dinosaur, but what's weird is it looks to me to be the Jasmine Tyrannosaurus Rex or something very similar, and I've never seen Jasmine dinosaurs with this fuzzy sort of a gimmick going on. Most of the Jasmine dinosaurs I see are usually the Carnotaurus back there, which is what that one is. Again, a Jasmine dino. So when I had seen this one, I thought instantly, well, I should probably grab that because that one's pretty unique and kind of fun, even though he's not my favorite thing in the world because I don't really like the fuzzy dinosaurs. He's still pretty cool, and he's also kind of a decent old school style T-Rex. And a lot of these figures are probably the type of figures that not everybody's going to like. Some people might look at these and be like, wow, they're super cheap and stupid. I don't know why you waste money on that kind of stuff. But I love old dinosaur toys. So I was also able to grab this Dilophosaurus, which is a super cool vintage style Dilophosaurus, which you don't see too often. But I was definitely happy to find this one. I think he looks really neat, of course, in the tripod position, pretty much perfectly resembling what a Dilophosaurus was portrayed as when I was a kid, before Jurassic Park changed the appearance of it for everyone. But he's definitely a pretty cool figure. They also had this one. Now, this one obviously would have been $1, but what's interesting about this is it's a Jasmine, or at least it says so on the underside of the foot, articulated T-Rex that obviously has light and sound. I could see like the eye and everything, and it's got a little hand gimmick opening the mouth. Definitely not the best T-Rex that I've seen, but it's a pretty cool looking figure that I have not actually seen prior to this. So again, when I saw this one for $1, I couldn't say no. I also got myself one of these smaller JP T-Rex figures. I don't think I have this color variant, if I remember correctly. It doesn't look familiar to me, so pretty happy to find him. And again, one of the smaller ones for $1. And there was also another one of those smaller JP figures. We've also got another very weird looking little T-Rex, different looking version compared as far as the color scheme compared to the other one. Also pretty cool. Don't know if I have that color variant or not, but I wasn't going to pass it up for $1. As well as a very old school Schleich Stegosaurus, which again, I think I have this one, but for $1, it's impossible to resist an old school dinosaur toy that is worth a whole lot more than that. So I was pretty happy to find that one as well. I'm also just generally a big fan of older Schleich figures. Even though they're not really that great, they're kind of goofy looking normally, I still love them. And there was also the Safari LTD Anna to Titan. I do have this figure already, but I know this one is definitely a figure that's not super common. And again, it's actually in like picture perfect shape. So for $1, definitely couldn't say no to that. And then another figure that was only $1 that I had actually never seen before was this one, which is a Stegosaurus figure. It's like a mini figure, but it's actually made by Bullyland, which I really don't find Bullyland figures too often at flea markets or anything, so had to snag that one as well. And then a figure that I actually really love and I've been meaning to repaint for many years, I found one of these Jasmine, I believe it's a Gallimimus. It very much so resembles the Jurassic Park style Gallimimus, and I do already have this one, but I've been wanting to repaint one into the Jurassic Park style Gallimimus for a long time, so this one might be my guy. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And there was also this one. Now again, it's another one of those figures that people are going to look at and be like, well, it's just a cheap, ugly figure, but it's actually kind of a fun vintage style Allosaurus. Sort of resembles like the, I think it's the AAA or maybe UKRD, I forget. It kind of has a look similar to another Allosaurus figure that I had seen a ways back, but at a much larger size. Doesn't really have a company or anything on the underside. As far as I can see, just has a year and, of course, the species and the fact that it was made in China. But it was just so charming of a figure. I just couldn't say no to that goofy Allosaurus. And I am knocking things over now to the left. I think I've knocked over probably about 4 figures already with these larger ones. And there was also a chap-made Dilophosaurus, which is, this Dilophosaurus has always been one of the absolute craziest Dilophosaurus figures that I think Chap May has ever created. It is so weird looking, but very colorful. And again, a figure that I really quite like. I don't remember if I have that exact color variant of it. I know I have the figure somewhere, but I feel like this one's in better shape than whatever one that I do have. And there was also this figure, which I know absolutely nothing about. It looks kind of like it's just a cheap, generic sort of animated walking T-Rex, but with a very vintage look. But he, again, also has that old school charm to him that I am a big fan of. Actually, I think maybe he's an Allosaurus. He's got 3 fingers. Maybe he's an Allosaurus. But regardless, it's one that I'm definitely going to have to do a little research on and try to find out more about him. But he was just so fun. Again, it's one of those figures where, like, I could not say no to it. And then we also have an old school Deinonychus figure. Very weird looking one, but he has that old school look down pretty good. I don't know if that one, it doesn't say. I was going to say, I don't know if this is an Imperial figure or not, but it's one that I've seen a few times here and there, and I've always kind of wanted to get a hold of. But a lot of the time, for some reason, whenever I run into that one at like flea markets and stuff, people are asking for really high prices for that. I have no idea why. I don't know if they just have no idea what the value of that figure is, because I can't see it being a whole lot, but again, for $2, I just absolutely had to have it. Then there was also another large Jasmine figure, as the large Velociraptor was there, which I was pretty excited about because I think I know I have the smaller ones, but I don't think I have the larger one, or at least I'm pretty sure I didn't. So pretty happy to have it now. It actually stands pretty nicely too, which is surprising. I didn't expect that. But again, if you guys do want to see reviews of any of these crazy figures, definitely let me know. I would absolutely love to start reviewing some older stuff and mixing it in with the newer stuff. Then there was also another figure I was really excited about. There was actually a Resource Stegosaurus in the tote full of dinosaurs, and I was really shocked to see this one in there and instantly grabbed it because the Resource figures are definitely not cheap and fairly hard to find. On top of that, there was also a super cool old school Ceratosaurus, and I love Ceratosaurus, so I absolutely needed this one. Again, another figure I kind of think I might have, but if I do, I'm probably going to repaint because even though it's not the greatest figure in the world, I feel like a lot of these older figures would look super cool with more realistic paint apps on them. And then there were some V-Rex figures in there. I was able to get this one, which is actually in pretty decent shape considering it's definitely fairly old. I'm pretty sure I already have that V-Rex, but still excited to have another one again, especially for $1. And again, another V-Rex. They also had this one in there, which is also in pretty good shape. I feel like these two are actually, when it comes to these, I have a bunch of these ones, but I feel like these ones are somehow in better shape than any of the others that I have. I also got this guy, which is actually another one of those Jasmine figures like the T-Rex we had seen earlier, but this one looks so much like a bootleg of the Lost World Spinosaurus, which I think it is, but it has a very cool color scheme to it, so that's definitely pretty neat. And the final figure is another Resource figure, as there was also a Styracosaurus in there. Now this one you can see is missing a few of the spikes moving along the head, so it is what it is, but still, again, super awesome to find another one of these. I already have this figure. I think this one might be my third, so I'm not too worried about the fact that he's missing some spikes. Maybe I'll give him a repaint at some point, but still pretty cool to have that one in there. So again, there is a ton of figures that I was able to get today for, again, like $30 roughly, because it was like $1 to $2 per figure depending on size. So some really neat stuff. So in the comment section, let me know what you guys think of this, and again, if there's anything you'd like to see in here that you would like to see reviews of, and of course, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.